San Diego Unified is one of the few school districts in California with its own police department. Its 41 officer force costs the district about $9 million each year, less than 1% of the district's overall budget. Some schools have as many as 4 officers at a time patrolling a campus. Students say that makes their schools feel like prisons. But the police department has made some progress in how it interacts with students. In the past 12 years, arrest rates at the district have gone down by more than 50%. The most dramatic progress has been with Latinx students. In the 2007-2008 school year, about 1.2% of Latinx students were arrested or detained by school police. In 2018-2019, that number dropped to less than half of a percent. In fact, the disparity in arrest and detention rates between Latinx and white students was eliminated by 2015. This may be because the district has invested in alternative methods of school discipline. Since 2012, the National Conflict Resolution Center has trained teachers and principals at San Diego Unified in restorative justice practices designed in part to keep students out of the criminal justice system.
The practices that we use with Latinx students is not so much different from any other groups within the schools.
Francisco Carbajal is the director of alternative juvenile justice at the center.
We've seen cases come from San Diego School Police where we have shown that recidivism completely drops when they're being diverted to a community-led opportunity rather than concentrating on traditional punishments.
But despite successes with Latinx students, the arrest rate for Black students is about 1.1%, 3 times as high as other groups. In fact, Black students make up about 8% of overall enrollment, but they make up about 20% of arrests and detentions. The historical mistreatment of people with black and brown skin by police is why Latinx students have joined the fight to defund the police at San Diego Unified.
Personally, I don't feel safe with the police presence.
Omar Federico Mondragon is one of the students leading the Defund School Police San Diego organization. While the data might show evidence of less discrimination against Latinx students by police, Omar and fellow student advocates say that any investment in police is a disinvestment in student well-being.
Those funds go into more police officers when it could be going to social and economic mobility programs. It can be going to college readiness programs.
The district is not considering eliminating the police department, but there are those working to create a middle ground.
The word that ended up coming to mind in that space was de-escalation.
Michelle Ferrer oversees the Restorative Justice program at San Diego Unified. Since she started at the district 2 years ago, she said she's been inspired by how open the district's police chief has been to restorative justice.
Chief Marquez, he's always candid and honest about the ways in which officers in the past were trained, right? And that there's a shift happening. And he believes in the framework. Like, I've heard him multiple times talk about his own experiences with learning the framework. He tells officers that this is the movement in which we are going.
Police Chief Michael Marquez wasn't available for an interview, but Police Captain Joe Florentino said the department's approach to policing has changed dramatically since he started 20 years ago. For example, if a student is caught carrying a knife at school, the consequences today are a lot different from what they were before restorative justice.
So now, instead of sending that student to court, what we'll do is we'll send them to either the National Conflict Resolution Center. We have contracts with, say, San Diego, different diversion providers, so that the student can go through a program to realize the dangers of carrying a knife.
Florentino said he wants to hear from more students about their concerns about policing. But student activists maintain that the San Diego Unified Police Department needs to be defunded, not reformed. Joe Hong, KPBS News.